the idea of the word, and as Christina was reflecting, we communicate with words. So, in a sense, words are a kind of river of connectivity between us. But if words wear out, if the language becomes incomprehensible, or if it becomes just kind of signs like go or like barking, we lose the whole texture and depth of our communion. And I was also struck by the fact that you said poetry and song were considered two aspects of the same thing, and the Indian Eskimos and the Norwegian, their ancient heroic poems, and the Iranian poems, and even in the liturgies, the songs that we sing, holy, holy, holy. All of this in our modern period has somehow been diminished, and we're losing our ability to communicate. And this is why we have the great problems in communication that we have today.
Oh, it's terrible all the way around. All the way around. Um, one of the one of the ways of making sure that the problem doesn't set down deep roots in yourself and in your kids is to read old books. Don't read things written in the last 50 or 60 years. Or as C.S. Lewis says, for every one recent book that you read, you should read two old books at least. I'd go farther. Don't even bother with things written since 1970. There are a lot of good stuff, no doubt. There's a lot of good stuff, but you're talking about young people. I mean, they need the foundation in our great heritage of literature. As for the words themselves, George Orwell was all about this. He wasn't even a Christian, all about this 75 years ago. In 1984, he's not predicting what's going to happen. He's describing what he believed already had happened was happening. That is the destruction of language. One of the most chilling things about 1984 is not that you're spied on everywhere, um, though that's creepy enough, and that seems to be with us now. But um, the Ministry of Truth, um, governmental powers are about the dumbing down of your own language, so that you won't have the words with which to form a thought that would go against the government. Uh, that Orwell is all about that in that famous essay called Politics in the English Language. So as our language becomes thinned out, politicized, uh, it, we're made banal, colorless. Uh, to that same extent, we lose a great part of our humanity and our ability to communicate with one another and even to begin to understand people who came before us.
So for 30 years, we've been publishing a monthly magazine on the Vatican, but there's all sort of things that occur during the many days between issues. And therefore, I began to write letters, which were occasional, and now they're almost daily, so that I cover things happening in the church and in the world that are of importance. So these Moynihan letters are free. I write them and send them by email to you. You can click below to sign up for the letters, and you can also find them posted on our website.